This right here is what today is all about. NERDSoul. Late Ill Kid at OneYoungsta holding it down, bringing that StreetGeek and NERDSoul. What is up, my people, today? Oh yeah, we get into another wonderful episode of Dropping Jewels. And you know, during the week, things happen. We can't cover it all, but we try to sprinkle a little bit of that into this show. And I'm not gonna waste your time. You gotta get your Saturday on. So, Cannon Busters from LeSean Thomas started out as a comic book back in like 2003. And he always wanted it to be more than that. He wanted it to be like a graphic novel. He wanted it to be an anime. He wanted it to blow up. And he bubbled on it. He worked on it, took some time, and he ended up coming with a very dope Kickstarter, which ran successfully. He hit us with a little pilot episode of Cannon Busters following Sam and this wonderful imaginative fantasy world where you have crazy people, magical people, and the search for heir to the throne of a place that is in a little bit of turmoil. And with talents in LeSean Thomas's repertoire dating back to like the Disney days, working on like Ben 10, Kim Possible, Legend of Korra, all kinds of stuff, Black Dynamite. Putting that all together into a project like this meant nothing but gold stars. And guess what? The fans ain't the only ones that notice. Netflix has now ordered a first season for Cannon Busters. So this is a big thank you to LeSean Thomas for all your hard work. Big shout out to Netflix, who seems to be kind of cornering the market on Western anime or Western stylized anime. And a big shout out to us as fans to see something that's original being brought to the screen once again. You know, people always want more original stuff, and this is that. So the nitty on this seems to be like, you got Manga Entertainment doing the production, you got Netflix, I guess, doing the distribution, and there's no real release date yet. But with shots like this, scenes like that, this art style, people like Joe Mad involved, there's going to be nothing but greatness. And a big shout out to Nyla Magruder, who's going to be one of the writers. This project is just primed to be successful. So my question to you is, have you heard of Cannon Busters? And if not, are you kind of psyched now? You know, the stuff you've seen, and I got the links down below. Check out, I don't know if you can get the comic book anymore. I got it like way back. It might be limited. As a matter of fact, speaking of LeSean Thomas, yo, I know you watch this show all the time. Okay, maybe you don't. But next time I see you, can I get a signature on my copy? But back to you guys. Let me know, are you interested in this? Are you psyched for this? We don't have a release date, and when I do, we'll talk about this some more. But I'm very hyped to see where this goes. I love seeing more original content, and you should too. So, of course, holla at me. I'm gonna holla at you. Down in the comments, let's talk about Cannon Busters and Philly, who is this crazy gunslinger, and man, is he dope. So, I'm gonna move on to some other dope news. Black. Next up in today's drops is Black. Yes, that's right, Black, the comic book that has been pretty much centered around an alternate history. Now, if you guys don't know what alternate history is, there's shows like Man in the High Castle that kind of like imagines if World War II had ended differently. Also, now there's a lot of how should we say, controversy around HBO making their show about the Confederacy. Then there's another show, I believe, on Amazon, imagining if Black people had gotten a large part of the South to be kind of like their own with the 40 acres and a mule. So it's very interesting to see where those projects are going. But there's another project, a comic book called Black, which is imagining a world where only Black people had superpowers. Now, I've been in talks with their team, so I can go in and review this stuff. They got 6 issues of Black. They just finished wrapping those up, and that's the main story of what this world that we're in of Black is really about. And it kind of starts off where this kid is fatally wounded, or at least we think is fatally wounded by gunshots from police, and he wakes up and finds out that maybe he's a little different than he thought he was. And this has been touted as, you know, amazing, gripping, you know, suspenseful. So much so that Studio 8 has now optioned it to make it a feature film. And I'm pretty psyched to see it because, once again, this is another original project kind of coming. Well, it's based on a comic book, so maybe it's not original, but you know what I mean. It's a brand new property coming to screen, and I'm psyched for it. Also, it's an alternate history that, when you read it, it's very interesting how they play things out. And just from the pages and panels I've seen, this is a very interesting and a very graphic and a very deep kind of look at what these powers on just a certain set of people would mean for that demographic, for that racial group, for that ethnic group. And I'm very interested to see where this goes. Kwanzaa, if you're watching this show, holla at me. I'd love to sit down with you and interview you. But the potential of this is just crazy high as far as like what it could expand on a feature-length film level. And also the controversy too. I'm not going to front. I'm sure there's going to be a lot of people that are not feeling this. But before we go any further, I got to remind you that you can find me on Black Hollywood Live. That's right, the first online network for African Americans. Extremely dope. And you can find, of course, BlackHollywoodLive.com, where they have celebrity interviews, after shows, sports talk, geek, nerd, tech, the whole shebang-a-bang from day to day with lively streams on youtube.com/Black Hollywood Live. Now, my question to you is, have you read Black yet? Have you heard about it? Have you seen it at all? If not, you can check them out on Twitter. I got the links down below. You can also check their website out. Pick up the comment. Let me know what you think. And if you've already read it, holla at me. I'm going to holla at you. Down in the comments, let's talk about Black and what that means for the big screen and what you think it could mean for cinema, especially when we're talking about alternate histories, alternate realities, but done in a very grounded way. What other series or other stories or other timelines do you think that we could possibly cover? So that's my time, and I hope you have a wonderful day. So gotta remind you guys to hit up ThatNERDSoul.com. That's right. Check me out right there. All my videos from the oldest, newest, latest, greatest, and all that. Then hit up shop.ThatNERDSoul.com and pick yourself up a t-shirt, player. And don't forget one for them playettes. Then come back here, like, comment, subscribe, and share that Nerd Soul. That's right. There's no better way that I can tell people that you like what you are watching. And shout outs go to LA, what up? VA, what up? RVA, you got my heart. And please be good to yourselves. Be good to each other. And let's hear some noise for LeSean Thomas doing his thing. Yo, Netflix, you got a hit on your hands. Peace.